Hi. Today I'm going to talk about selecting a silver pattern. If you want an American sterling pattern, there's an incredible array of patterns. Total of 2,200 American sterling patterns alone. There are also 5,000 silver-plated patterns. Today I'll be talking about sterling and how to select a pattern. There's several different types of design. One good way to select a pattern is go to our website, and we have over 500 sterling patterns. You can just look at the picture of one piece and then look at what's in the set. But anyway, the most popular pattern of all time is Chantilly by Gorham. It was created in 1895. It's got a traditional look. It's got a little fleur-de-lis on top. It's got nice weight. It's got a pleasant design. All those factors have made it popular with a wide range of people. And as I say, for the last 100 years, it has been the most popular pattern. Another style of silver that is popular is deco. This pattern is called Etruscan. It started in 1913. It has a Greek key design. There's many deco patterns. This is the most popular one. It's another style of silver. The one that's gaining popularity the quickest right now is the Modernistic patterns. And these patterns really started in the 1930s and extended to about 1975. They were done by, in many cases, famous designers, and their work is now being rediscovered. This is one of the more popular ones. It's called Diamond by Reed and Barton. And Jules Stern wrote a book, Modernism in America, a couple of years back, and showed many of these patterns and talked about the designers, and they really were well done. This is Art Nouveau. The pattern is La Parisienne by Reed and Barton, and it won awards as the best Art Nouveau pattern. Art Nouveau often have or feature beautiful women or flowers. In this case, it's flowers. And it's a pattern where the flowers change piece by piece. And I love the little Art Nouveau scrolling at the top of the tines. The traditional or fiddle thread look is another type of popular silver. In this case, it was done by Frank Smith, and it's based on a traditional English or European style, but very popular these days. No discussion of silver would be complete without talking about Grand Baroque. Wallace was a small silver company that was sort of in the shadows of the great companies like Gorham and International. They had a designer who thought that three-dimensional patterns would revolutionize the industry, and he created, among others, Sir Christopher Stradivari, Rose Point, and Grand Baroque. Grand Baroque is a heavy three-dimensional pattern from the year 1947, and it's been popular ever since. Another area of silver that's really growing in popularity is the handmade silver. This one is Continental by Jensen. If you look, there's all little hammer marks where it's been hand created by the artist. People like things that are handmade, and this is a good example of it. This is an example of a king's pattern. People like things with shells. This is a very good example. It's called New Kings by Dominic and Hoff. It's from the 1890s, and it's a very sort of traditional English idea that we Americans copied. One area that I really enjoy and that we actually do the best at in America was bright cut silver. To give you an example, Gorham in the 1880s had 3,000 people hand decorating silver. When Gorham closed last year and sold their dies to Wallace, they had one hand decorator, which were called chaser, left. Anyway, they would take the piece of plain silver and they would use an engraving tool and engrave a design onto the silver. A very painstaking process. One interesting thing was about 15 years ago, I was doing a show and I was across from an English dealer, and he was so sure his silver was the best in the world, and considered the American silver rubbish. And he started looking at our bright cut silver, and he said, this is the best in the world. If these things were English, they'd be priceless. In America, we did the best bright cut silver. Another thing that I collect myself is cut glass. We also did the best cut glass. So some things in the 1880s to 1900 period, America did the best. Another type of silver that people buy are the florals. One of the best examples of the florals is this one, Bridal Rose. It's the biggest, boldest rose on any pattern. But they not only did roses, but they did lily was the most popular Victorian pattern. You name the flower, they probably did a pattern featuring that flower. And this is, again, one of the really fast-growing things that people enjoy. Plain, heavy silver. This one happens to be Tiffany. The pattern is Fanuel, completely unadorned. But because it's unadorned, it will not clash with anything. It'll go with any style of china or crystal or any decor. So we have seen a movement away from the very fancy toward the plain and heavy the last few years. Thank you.